I was working in England for a bit, so here people are really accepting difference. You know what I mean? Compared to France, where France is a very rough country. People are always excited when I talk about like I'm coming from France and shit. People are just thinking about the glamour and the fucking.
They just think of the Eiffel Tower.
No, it's not about that. Go on the other side of the highway and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Hey, what's up, guys? You are back with Before the Money. We have a really interesting guest today. His name is Sovann Ben. He's been all over the world, done things most of us have not done. And I'm really excited for this chat, you know. Just to remind you, this is the podcast where we get down in the depths with high achievers to figure out all the nitty-gritty shit they were doing before the money. Now, this kid has fucking style, so if you're listening on podcast, I would strongly suggest head over to YouTube and watch this in full HD because it is a spectacle, that's for sure.
And can I have said this before, but I'll say it again, bro. This nigga smells so fucking good, bro. As soon as you came in, I was like, oh, what's that?
I do it for you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
So we're doing something really interesting as well. So for everyone that tuned in for last week's episode, Mr. V Black did tell us that he was going to be showcasing one of his new tracks. Now, we are going to be playing it early on in this episode. And remember that you are going to be the very first people to hear this. So you should feel very special because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
I feel so special.
I won't lie, I'm a little bit nervous, but hey, look.
Pressure's on now.
It's going out soon anyway, so we got to face those fears.
So how's everyone's week been?
Great. Same old. Going to work, going to the gym, and here I'm here with my boys now having drinks. So yeah.
That sounds like a good week.
Yeah, that's it.
What is the daily hustle? What work are you doing?
It's just a job. I'm just working in a precasserie at the moment. Paying the bills, looking for something better to do. Yeah. Keeping my eyes open for opportunities.
And what are you keeping your eyes open for? What captures your attention at the moment?
It's because I have a very particular like visa situation because I'm not from here. My main goal at the moment is just to get that thing sorted out with the visa thing, and I just stay focused on what I'm doing on a daily basis. You know, I don't really have real goals at the moment because it's not allowed. It's not really allowed, you know. And we have a few ideas with my partner, clothing brands and things like that, but it's still in the making, you know. Yeah.
You said you're not from here. You got a visa situation. Like, I know that you've been around the place, but where are you from originally? Give us a little bit of a backstory.
Yeah, so I'm from France, Lille, best city in the world. From France. I was born there. I lived there until I turned like 21 or 22. And I decided to start traveling. Went to Southeast Asia for like 7 or 8 months. Bought a motorbike there, drove all around the place.
What were you doing in SoutheastSia?
Just traveling. Yeah. I was just sick of what I was seeing at home all the time. And what triggered me was the whole environment back home. You know, it was back when there's been this big terrorist attack in Nice. Yeah. I was in the terrorist attack. I was there like on holidays.
Oh. No way.
Yeah, with my best mate Martin and a girl I was seeing before. So I was there. I was running. The truck was there. We probably heard about it here.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did.
All about that,
And after that, everything has changed back home. It was already not very good, but like way more racism, way more like discrimination. And I'm from a very poor area of France, where like I'm basically I grew up in a half French, half Asian family with a Buddhist background. In a Muslim neighborhood, and I went to a Catholic private school.
Bro, what jack of all trades.
Yeah, jack of all trades. Yeah, literally, because I went to Paris not long after kind of a lot of that terrorist stuff was going on, and I've never seen guns that big. Literally, just walking into like a H&M on the Champs-Elysees, there's like 2 guards out the front with M16s. And it's like, I'm not shoplifting here.
It was full on. So and after that happened, so I was on the holidays, came back home, and I was alive. So to me, everything was fine. You know, like I don't feel like especially traumatized or anything. I just feel like it's like not fun, but it's interesting to know how you react in these type of reactions. You know, because it's just like primal. You like you
just survival, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fear to die, and your body just does shit. You know, like
you don't know how you're gonna react until you're there as well.
Yeah, it's like fighting. It's like when you talk about fights to people, they're like, "Oh, I would do that. I would have done that." I'm like, "No, you don't know shit about what you would have done." You know what I mean?
Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face.
That's it. So yeah, interesting to know that. But yeah, I got home, and my family was like freaking out. They were like, "Oh, you almost died." I was like, "Yeah, well, I'm here, so that's it, you know."
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody back home, I realized in my family, some of my my mates on TV, like everybody was like triggered. Everybody was like, "Oh, like Muslim, Islam." No. I was like, it's not right.
No,
I was in the
it's nothing about that, you know.
That's it. And I was in there. I was in the terrorist attack, and I don't think anything like that. I should be the one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, I started having heaps of like deep discussions, like 4 hours, 5 hours long discussions with my family, with my dad especially. And the thing is that after a few months like that, it's a bit of a pressure because it's in the household. It's people you should be looking up to. You know, it's your parents. Like it's kind of authority in your life. You know. So I started to feel like I was almost getting influenced by it. So I reached out because a lot of my friends are Muslim back home. Oh, by the way, happy Ramadan. Blessed Ramadan to you all. It started 2 days ago, I think. Good luck. You'll go through it. So yeah, I reached out with one of my mates who's Muslim, and I was like, bro, it's hard. You need to convince me because it's like, I feel like my brain is not going the right way. And yeah, he gave me a few things to read, like a Quran, you know, with like images and shit, because the actual book is very thick and it's hard to understand. You know, you need to study it really, like the Bible, like you know. And yeah, he gave me all these little books. I read through it and I was like, yeah, so I was right. You know, like, it's not about killing people. It's not about hate. It's not about anger.
But every religion can be, you know, it depends on the context you take the text in, you know. If you were to listen to like the Christian Bible, take it word for word, you'd find yourself in some very sticky situations. But when you look at it for the lessons that it is and almost the analogy that it is, it tells a beautiful message. And the underlying principle of, I would say 99% of like religious activities are about love, compassion, you know, community and all that kind of stuff. And it's really, religion is the backbone that's built our morals, like so to speak, you know. It's just extremism that's been taken on, you know.
It's going to be extremism and everything as well.
Exactly.
Like, that's it. Some of these vegans out here, bro, I swear they're close to killing people out here, man. Like, you're going to get extremes of anything.
Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly. Now, you brought up fighting. Is that something you started as a kid or?
So so my dad basically has always been athlete. Like he was fighting for the like French team of Kung Fu with his cousin.
Yeah.
And so because we were growing up in this environment which was violent and like doing like drugs, robberies and things like that. It was just a bad neighborhood, you know. So I grew up there. My dad had this type of past, so he was doing all these things, and he thought, because I was the first kid, and he thought the right thing to do was to educate me, telling me not to do this shit, and he was detailing all this shit. So I was like, I had a list.
He was bringing it into your consciousness.
I had this in my head. I was like, wait a minute, it sounds cool, and where you are now is pretty good. So he was like just planting these seeds in my brain without even realizing it. And he always told me, because he used to be a bit of a violent person, like when he was younger, never with us, when he was younger, and he always told me, if somebody comes to you, because he didn't want to get troubles with us, he didn't want us to get trouble with the police or anything, so he was always like, if someone comes to you and like tries to bully you, you don't fight back, you go to the teacher. And that's what I had in my mind forever. So I kind of I kind of did that when I was at school, and I ended up being way too bullied.
You were a target.
Because I just thought I would get fucked up at home if I was fighting back. You know what I mean? So and one day I met these guys who are my best friends now. Like, it's been since I was 12 years old. I know these guys. Ulysse, Theo, all these boys from school. I met these guys and they were troublemakers. They were big ass troublemakers. And they made me realize that we're not made of glass, you know, like I'm not gonna die because I got punched in the face, you know? So I started boxing. I started boxing when I was 14 years old. I started fighting at school, and that was cool. That was very exciting. Yeah, and my sisters were in the same school too, so they kind of had like
someone
the
to
image
protect
of a
them.
badass big brother.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Personal security.
Entourage.
I remember that time I smashed a guy like because he was bullying my sister. My sister is short. She had a big backpack, and he was like bullying her with a backpack in front of school. And I bashed him up, and she was punching him in the head. I was like, "Oh, that's my girl. That's my girl."
Like a family event.
That's it.
Fucking some kid up.
So I started boxing at 14 for 2 years. A few like competitions and things like that. I enjoyed it. I started doing MMA at 16.
Why'd you make that transition? Like,
because MMA is funnier.
yeah,
Yeah, less headaches.
Yeah.
too. Because boxing you get hit
just
in the
punched
head.
in the head constantly.
That's
Yeah,
it. Yeah, and I've had headaches coming back home. It's not normal at 15 years old.
No.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Really does some damage long term.
Yeah, and because I told that to my dad, he has the experience. He was like, "Yeah, just stop doing that. Do something different." That's why MMA I think is less dangerous than boxing because of all the jiu-jitsu wrestling part of it. So started MMA at 16 years old. MMA is not legal in France then.
Yeah.
So I was training MMA in a karate gym with a karate license.
Yeah.
So I was doing that and never really stopped. Done a couple of pancras competitions and things like that. And brought me to Southeast Asia after the whole terrorist attack situation. I was in Cambodia. I trained a bit in Cambodia. Drove down to Thailand. In Thailand, I was just there. The girl I was with was a bit unhappy with me because I said that I will spend the whole time in a camp in the same city. So we traveled for the first 2 weeks, and then we just sailed down like in Chiang Mai, a gym called Team Quest. That was great. I had a couple of fights there. That was sick.
Yeah. It's an incredible scene over there, in Thailand. Like they really get behind it. It's incredible.
Yeah, also it's so it can be a bit intimidating to fight when you're like in Australia. They put on a big ass show. There's lights, there's music, there's all these things. People are yelling and shit.
Yeah.
In Thailand, it's just normal. There's fights every night.
Yeah.
So you don't have this pressure. You know what I mean? It's not like an event.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like over here, it's like pay-per-view, fucking everything.
Yeah,
If
that's
they
it.
do anything here, it's massive because they do stuff here, but it's still kind of niche here.
Yeah.
So if they do put anything on, it's a big spectacle.
Yeah, you got big fighters coming up from Australia and New Zealand though. Oh, you're smashing
we're
it, guys.
killing it.
It's crazy. Africa is coming up too.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed about Australia, and this is 100% my bias talking, but for our population size being so small, we compete very highly on a lot of different avenues internationally, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy. I was actually talking to somebody about this last night, how like Australia, bar some sports events or like certain stars.
Our Winter Olympics is shocking.
But yeah, bar certain exceptions, Australia, like as an average, performs very well. Like we're not usually like right up there, but like averagely placing high in a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Then it comes to swimming, and we fucking dominate because we're surrounded by water. The country
Girt by
is
sea,
training.
as someone said.
Who said that? I've heard that before. But yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of big New Zealand especially. New Zealand is really, really coming out.
I was supposed to go there. Yeah. I was supposed to go to New Zealand before. So basically, because of the visa situation topic. So I was here in Australia for 2 years with a working holiday visa. I was training in Melbourne in a gym called Absolute MMA. They gave me a sponsorship to go live in Phuket in their gym. So I was just living there for free and shit.
Yeah. At the gym? A lot of guys live at the gym.
The guy also owns a guest house.
Yeah.
So I was living in a bunk bed with 8 other fighters. that was pretty fun. It's a fun experience. And at night they were all like on their phone, not talking. I was like we're 8 guys in the room. It should be fun. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, we should have fun.
Talking shit.
And yeah, they were like, oh bro, you should download like Tinder and shit. And that's how we have fun. I was like, oh really? I was like, I didn't know shit about it because I was in a relationship for so long before. I was like, and I was just single for like a while. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that, and I don't know if I feel good about it either. You know. So eventually they got me, so I got hooked on it, and I started like doing their sweeping things and shit. And I matched with a girl, and I didn't really hope anything, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm too busy training every day. So basically that girl asked me a couple of times to go on, like, to have dinner with her and shit, like in the week, but I'm training, so I can't really.
Yeah.
And on the weekends, I was going to a club with my mates in Bangla Road. I don't know if you guys been to,
I know Bangla Road. Yeah.
and yeah, she's just here.
What up?
And yeah, she just messaged me being like, oh, I'm bored, can I come with you guys? I was like, yeah, sick. All right, it's always good to have a girl around, you know. Even if you don't have expectations, it's good to have a girl, you know?
Get in places.
Yeah,
exactly.
In Thailand you go everywhere.
Yeah.
And I ended up being in a relationship with her, and she went back home because she was on a holiday. She went back home. I was like still doing my thing, and we were still talking. I was like, is it how Tinder works? You know, like, am I still supposed to talk with this girl or no? I don't know. You know what I mean? So
what are the rules?
Yeah, you know. And I was like, oh, I'm going to catch a flight and come see you in real life, you know, because I want to see if it can work. You know what I mean? And yeah, she was like, oh, I'm gonna take days off now. And I was like, no, I want to see you how it is in real life when you work, when you have your routine. I want to see how it is.
Who you
know?
are.
Yeah. And got here. I had my return flight. I was supposed to stay here.
So
for
I'm
a week.
guessing because you're gonna take the next step and, you know, fly to see her, it was a good meetup originally, yeah?
Yeah, it was a great meetup.
Yeah.
Very good. I had a return flight. I was supposed to stay here for a week. And last day, I was supposed to fly the next morning at like 6 a.m. And we were drunk. And I was in bed. I was like, oh, I'm not leaving tomorrow. No
So
way.
where did you go and meet her? Where?
Here on the Gold Coast.
Oh.
Yeah, she's born here. Yeah.
And we're talking about Tess?
Yeah, it's Tess.
Nice,
She's just
nice.
here.
Yeah, thank God.
I hope so. I'm like, who is she?
Straight
She's learning so much right now.
I know this story. Who is it?
She sounds like a good time.
Great time. So yeah, and after that week, I told her drunk in bed, I was like, I'm not leaving tomorrow. I feel sad about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh yeah, bullshit. You know, I was like, oh, okay. I turned my alarm off because fuck waking up at 4 a.m. hungover taking a flight.
Yeah,
I canceled my alarm. And we woke up the next morning at like 9 or 10. She was like, oh, you're still here? I was like, yeah.
I told you.
I told you. I told you
Yeah,
I'd be here.
talking shit.
And yeah, so coming back to the New Zealand
It wasn't
fighting
just the
thing.
fireball talking.
No, definitely not. A little bit maybe, but yeah. So so I was for the next week because I stayed another week here. I applied for a visa in New Zealand because one of my mate, Kevin Jusey, who's gonna make it to the UFC. I gotcha. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
Kevin Jusey. I was supposed to meet him in Auckland, City Kickboxing.
Yeah, okay.
Which is the gym where like Israel Adesanya,
Do you know Izzy?
Kai Kara, like all these big fighters are training.
It's
Wow.
like the gym in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow.
they're coming out of there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
you were
was,
telling me a little bit about it last time we met up.
yeah. So I was supposed to meet him there because he's a fun guy and we have fun times, you know, and he's French too, so it helps.
That
Yeah,
training
nice.
program would be fucking mental there, bro.
Yeah, these guys are.
Anywhere, man.
Yeah, true.
Bro, I just like most respect to fighters, bro. I follow a lot.
That
and
discipline is
nobody
inspiring.
trains harder than fighters because like you're putting more than just your like reputation on the line.
Yeah.
It's your life
Your
as
health,
well, your
yeah.
livelihood. So
It's a single life too. Like you don't have time for anything else. That's the thing. Like when I decided to do that full time, I was just training 8-9 hours a day and just doing nothing else. You know, like you come home, you're tired.
Yeah, you'd be completely
You know?
wrecked.
So, like,
Yeah.
Literally, just like sparring for 10 minutes just drains all the energy I've got.
Oh my god. So I've been like holding pads for people at the gym at
that's
work.
exhausting.
And like so they're just like hitting pads for like 3 minutes, right? And after they're like cooked. And I'm like, imagine I'm now avoiding your strikes and hitting
Trying
you
to
back.
hit you back.
And hitting you back. Like, you have no idea what it would be like to be in there. Like, fucking gnarly, dude.
It'd be very, very kind of fulfilling though. You know, and this could be kind of my own psychosis, but I feel like when you kind of work yourself almost into the ground, you're exhausted. It's just the most invigorating, fulfilling feeling. You know, and you lay down at night, every part of you is sore, but you're like, you know what? I achieved something today.
It's getting through that struggle, because that's what it is. A workout is a struggle. It's an ISS, induced state of suffering, and the more you can get through, like that's why people take cold showers, and shit like that. Getting up early in the morning, it's like intentionally putting yourself in an uncomfortable state, because that's where you get better.
Yeah, build your mental toughness as well as your physical.
Yeah, and even out of the gym, it's like it's crazy. Like it sets like some sort of discipline in your brain. You know, you feel bad when you drink alcohol. Yeah. You know, and like I drink alcohol.
Yeah.
But
you at least you think twice, you know.
That's it.
I had the exact same thing, you know, when I was like very, very heavily involved in rowing. It's like, and the part of it is because the next session, you feel it. You don't want to drink, you know, like you feel it the next time you jump in the ring or jump in the boat or any strenuous exercise.
Yeah.
But there's also kind of like that discipline as well. It's like, well, if I'm putting all this effort into bettering myself 9 hours a day, you know, 10 hours a day, why do I want to, like, is this single drink going to give me that much fulfillment when you verse it against like how much it's going to put you back, you know?
And it can set you back real bad. Like, I'm not speaking from personal experience. I mean, I definitely am. You know, I've had those hangovers that fucking completely uproot every routine in my life because I'm out of action for a couple of days.
It's a week. It throws you out at least for a week.
I'm not 18 anymore, bro. Like, it takes me minimum 2 days to get over a big night. Minimum.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, because we are at this point in life where we have to choose between having fun and progressing in life in general.
Yeah.
And because the thing is that having fun kind of slows you down, you know, like you have goals, you have fun one night, the next day you can't do anything, and you lost 24 hours, you know, and 24 hours is a long time. Life is not very long.
Yeah. That's the only thing you're not going to get more of too. Like, you can acquire more money, you can get fitter, you can't get time back again. Yeah. That's gone. Once it's gone, that's gone. I mean, we are not far away from being able to live forever, for sure. Like the technology that they have, but at the moment, time is the thing that we can't acquire more of, really.
So I was listening to a podcast on Monday. I can't remember the name of the guy who was speaking, but he was basically saying within the next 40 years, we're going to be at a period of scientific discovery where we will choose when we want to die.
That's terrible.
It will get to a point where it's like, you know, I've fulfilled my life, you know, I've lived 600 years, you know, 700 years, whatever it is. And you're like, I've had enough. I've experienced what I want. You know, I can rest easily now, and it will be a choice. That we're not far away from that. And it's really sci-fi and out of this world, like, to think about, you know, but yeah.
Do you think people would choose a date and
well,
things
that's
like
the thing.
that?
I couldn't.
It's scary.
Yeah, I don't think I would choose.
over.
But at the same time, if you were alive for 600 years, like what
else is there to do?
Yeah, what is it?
That's our camera timer. Ding ding ding. This is sponsored ad break by Anarchy. Wear your fucking steez. I don't know, I'm just talking
MeUndies.
So, that's the end of our interlude. We're going to bring it back with the preview that I promised you all.
Whoa,
I'm going to shot this just to
To celebrate.
We're doing a shot.
cool the nerves. To
Mine's-
snakes.
To snakes.
Yo. And we're getting the track up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fireball.
We're doing well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you were saying.
It wasn't a shot. It was a mouthful of it.
Yeah, it was big.
That's what she said.
All right, I'm ready when you guys are.
Yep, we're ready.
Do it. Hit that shit, King.
All right, here she comes.
Well,
Could you imagine a life where
I forgot about this
you
bit.
can decide what you're gonna do right then, and you don't have to go to a job. You don't have
I
to
love
work.
this intro. I love it.
The money for you and your
Thank
family
you, sir.
comes from the things that you create. Imagine what you create then.
Chris.
Best thing ever fucking did was leave that fucking job, but now I make no paper. I got time to make some love. How I'm gonna pay them bills? Nigga, I'm not sure, but if you tryna rob me, all my time can't fuck with you for sure. Didn't like that boss man neither, nah, he was tragic. Your papa put you in your job, you think you have shit. Ain't got no fancy clothes or cars, cannot afford it. No daddy put me in my job, no, I was just deposit. Save me, I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, nigga made it this far, nigga did it my way, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, nigga made it this far, nigga did it my way. Think I saw a chance, so I'ma take it. Ain't gotta go to no job today, so lay here in bed naked. You ain't scared of snakes? Take a look, I do not fake it. But hope you brought you any venom, prepare to take it. All jokes aside, but show them snake can make you grind. I know about you, but I ain't working 9 to 5. You tryna put a price on my fucking life? Tryna be a sellout nigga, be my guest, that's fine. But don't save me, I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, nigga made it this far, nigga did it my way, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, nigga made it this far, nigga did it my way. Yeah, for this fucking system, I'm a nigga on a mission. I was never good at math, but somehow good with my division. Though a thought of suicide, they treat you like you children. Now my life is now a do or die, I wish that I was kidding. Ask me where's my place, man, my place is out in space. Nigga from a different world, see my past and you my hell. Resurrected by the zombies, new mindset be business lately. You ain't talking paper, you be hating on me later. Don't save me, I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad, don't save me. I ain't tryna be sad,
That
nigga
melody,
made
bro.
it this far,
that's a
nigga did
banger.
it my
I like
way.
it, man.
You're doing bangers after bangers.
Yeah, bro. That's all we got 12 bangers coming this year, bro.
Legit.
Yeah,
And
that's
I love
number
how they're
4.
all like a slightly different sound. Every time you hear it, it's like you have a distinct sound because of your voice, but you don't have a distinct genre. You know what I mean?
Someone was talking to me the other day about it, and they were like, the thing that really excites me about you as an artist is we're watching you evolve. Like, he's like, the fact that you can drop in and out of these different styles the way that you do is telling me, as in him, and not in a bad way, that I haven't actually found this sound yet.
Yeah.
But he's like, but that's what I love about it, because now we keep getting new stuff and we're watching you develop. Like, Scott and I have been talking about the next one, and holy fuck, is it different to anything that I've done yet. Like, not even attempted this shit yet. But it's going to be fucking dope, and I'm keen for it.
Is it gonna be a K-pop song?
I'm learning Korean, bro. I got Duolingo. Duolingo on my
Something
phone. I'm
else.
learning Korean as we go.
Why fucking not? And like to give a little bit of a backstory, so Reese, like, he's extremely talented in the sense where he can kind of develop a very clear idea of where a song is going internally, and where he's different from a lot of creatives is he can actually bring that into fruition in quite a streamlined process. And so when was it? On Tuesday you came in and recorded that?
I think it was.
Yeah, on Tuesday. So, you know, we all, Scott, Reese, myself, we met at the studio, and literally just in one session, he nailed that. Scott, you know, got all the recordings that we needed. We even came in, we set up the space and recorded a music video, shit like that, man.
Too, yeah.
It was probably one of the most productive days I feel like, I've had quite a while.
It's
it was
worked
epic.
smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Hey, like it did not take us that long, and it's gonna be the most like produced piece yet because it's got the video with it as well. And the video is cool. Like we set the space up really nicely, and
Yeah, you jammed out,
it's
bro.
a
It was
cool,
mint.
dude. It was
Yeah.
sick. I had a really good time making that for sure.
And how long does it take you to write a song like that?
Depends, man. They're
Yeah.
all different. So like, some songs, like if I have an idea that I want to talk about, so I'm like, hey, I want to address this issue. That kind of song might take me a little bit longer because I'm then thinking about what I want to say because I've gone there for a purpose. Whereas Snakes was very spur of the moment. Like I probably wrote Snakes in maybe half an hour.
Okay.
And that was just because I found a beat that really inspired me and I was feeling very passionate about fucking not wanting to work, the credo of everything I do. Fuck the day job. And I was feeling so passionate about it that it just full fucking came out. Yeah. So sometimes they take a long time. Sometimes it's really, really quick.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about Snakes is that's the 4th time it's been made, and it's evolving as we go.
And it's
When-
the first time it's properly like produced, like in the
Yeah,
studio.
so this is definitely the best production of it yet,
Yep.
for sure. Like the other ones were all my janky bedroom setups, like recording under the blanket or in the wardrobe,
Yeah, and you showed me a few of those recordings the other day, and it's like, yes, they have the message, they have the story because you're a brilliant lyricist, but this one I feel like, especially with that little intro that you put in the beginning, it really encapsulates what you're trying to put forward with this song.
That really sets this one apart from the previous ones. The little intro really sets the tone of the message that I want to push with Snakes in particular.
Yeah, it's made it super clear.
I mean, that message is hidden in every track I make.
Yeah.
Fuck working a 9 to 5, bro. Fuck that shit.
Even the beat and shit, it really sounds like the current French rappers back home, and that's
Yeah.
very surprising to hear it here. Actually,
We're going international, baby.
I'll take that, baby. Let's go. But it's not always like Snakes is taken many forms. Like it has, like there's been more hype. That one's definitely quite chill. It's definitely like empowering, as in like, I envision myself performing that to a crowd,
Yeah,
and I feel like the crowd, the lyrical content, they will get behind that.
can't wait to see that.
But there's some more renditions of it that have been more hype, more aggressive. But I like where it's at. I like where it's at.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, man. And when are you thinking of releasing that?
I'm thinking probably the 30th of this month.
The 30th. And how can, because obviously there's a small section of people that have heard it now on this podcast, the very first premiere, but obviously I know you're making a big push to try and build out your community and build up that kind of community of fans that support you on a close level. So how can people kind of get involved and support you on a deeper level?
So the best way that anybody can support me is streaming at the end of the day, because that's what, the money comes from there. That's how I can actually quit the 9 to 5. But the best ways to do it are, so when Snakes is finished and we have the final copy of it and we can pop it out onto Spotify, then there'll be a pre-save link.
Yeah.
So that pre-save link, the more pre-saves you get, it pushes it onto bigger Spotify playlists.
Yeah. Where would
Brings
we
more
find that?
attention. So that will be on my Instagram, v.blvq. When we have the final copy of it, I'll pop it out there, and then they give me the link. I'll pop that onto there. I'll promote that. So if you're following the Instagram, you'll see that that's ready to go. And then the other one that's really, really helping me at the moment is Triple J Unearthed. Unfortunately, that website is a fucking minefield to navigate. Triple J, I love you, but you need to fucking make that portal way more accessible to the regular person.
Yeah, it was a mission, man.
But that, like, we've got Little Thicky. I don't know if we spoke about this last time.
No,
I don't
we
know
didn't.
if I knew last
Yeah.
time. Little Thicky, is that the second drop this year?
Third.
I'm
That's
fucking
for his
losing
new
track.
account or
I
not?
think it's a third.
Third drop.
Third drop this year.
Yeah.
So Ferris, the first drop, and Lil Thicky went on to Triple J Unearthed Radio fucking stoked with it.
Amazing.
First went on to Triple J, but that was because of Unearthed Radio.
Yeah.
So pre-saves, Unearthed Radio are the two ways that people can support me at the deepest, most efficient level right now.
Amazing. So make sure you head to v.blvq on Instagram, click the link in his bio, and show the brother support. Seriously, he's making
Love you
waves.
all.
He's making some huge waves, and we want to see this fucking thing go all the way to shore.
Love you all.
Now, let's get back to Sovann, because you are the guest of honor. And might I say, you are looking mighty fine today. You're
Always.
looking very, very suave. That was one of the things that captivated me, before I met you the first time. Your style. Honestly, it's fucking fresh, and it's uniquely you. I don't know anyone that can kind of pull off your vibe. Fucking chains, the tats, like big chunky shoes. Loving it, man. It's really, really good. So, has fashion always been something that's been important to you, or is it just a self-expression that you've developed over time? Like, how does that work for you?
I've always been very focused on what I was wearing.
Yeah.
I've always been very different. Where I'm from, it's hard to be very different. You know what I mean? Like it's
Like the
it's always
home
a
of
bit hard.
fashion.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's a bit yeah. Swimming against the tide is it's never easy. That's
Yeah.
what you do with music too, a little bit. So yeah, I've always been thinking about that. I was so bad at fashion before. I always been very influenced by my mate Ulyss, who might listen to this podcast.
Is he your mate if he doesn't?
The real question.
Yeah.
So I would literally like
Pressure's on, bro.
I would literally send him photos of things I wanted to buy, and I would ask for approval. He'd be like, "Oh no, it's lame." I'd be like, "Oh no, that's sick." I ended up spending heaps of euros in like random shit I'm not wearing anymore. You know what I mean?
Just stages along the journey.
That's it. And then I always been very focused on my style. I always wanted to look good, because when you look good, it's like a different skin.
When you look good, you feel good.
Yeah, that's it. So you go out, people are different with you. You know what I mean? Like it's different.
And we can like deny it all that we want, but it's truth. It's so true.
It's sad, though, but
Yeah.
So and as soon as I moved back here, actually, just a bit before, was the first time I bought my first piece of designer. And I'm with my partner, who's really focused into like fashion and again designers, and she has a work related to that too. So that makes it even easier for me. Like I'm really into like unisex type of fashion. I think that one of the first time I was talking with her, I sent her one of Jaden Smith.
Oh, he's an icon, man.
Unisex suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so sick. That's so sick. Something I can wear, my girlfriend can wear, and it's so cool. You know what I mean? So just like work my way up on fashion. I try to keep track. It's hard because I'm in Australia now. Australia is a bit
we're very behind.
late.
Jesus Christ.
It's a bit late. Also, I don't want to wear shit that will look weird here. You know what I mean? Because at the moment, I have heaps of like European influence and things like that from back home, from the people I follow on Instagram, things like that. And I know if I wear some things that I'm wearing now here today, I will look weird. People will think I'm a weirdo.
The advantage that you have though is because you do have a unique look. Like someone sees you, they're never gonna think that you're from Australia.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you that little badge of you can wear whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Like you can pull it off for sure.
Yeah, it can make it easy to pull shit off, but it can also make it hard. Like,
At the same
socially,
time, though, I have this
True.
weird kind of obsession with being in that exact position that you're kind of talking about avoiding. I love that people give you that weird side-eye look,
I've done
I
some
really love
dumb
that.
shit, bro.
Yeah, some haircuts
So, like,
and shit.
ASAP
Oh, God.
Rocky, bro, he used to rock the
He's
suit
fucking
pants,
stylish as fuck, man.
like a t-shirt under like a really nice, not blazer, like longer, like a trench
like a
coat
sports
almost,
jacket.
but like a
Oh, yeah.
nice trench coat.
Yeah.
And like all the chains and shit, high tops as well.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to dress up like that and walk around like shopping centers, just to
to
get
be
the
seen.
people looking at
Yeah.
me, man. Like, and that was before I was doing music too. Like, that was just because I was like, hey, fuck it,
Yeah.
let's get some clout, boys.
And things that here is a bit like, because I was working in England for a bit, so here people are really accepting difference. You know what I mean? Compared to France, where France is a very rough country. People are always excited when I talk about like I'm coming from France and shit. people are just thinking about the glamour and the fucking.
They just think of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, no, it's not about that. Go on the other side of the highway and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very hard there. And even I talk with my girlfriend and with my other Australian mates who are excited to go to Paris for holidays. I'm like, it's not that exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
the one thing that I kind of it took me by surprise. All in all, amazing trip. I love the atmosphere there. But what the world knows of Paris is this one strip.
that's
You
it.
know, and then everything else is, you know, you wouldn't expect, but they see this glamorous strip, you know, the Arc de
Champs-Élysées,
Triomphe,
yeah.
the Eiffel Tower, all this kind of iconic features, the Louvre, all that kind of stuff. It's all in this big one strip.
And that's it.
You know,
That's
that's
all you
Paris.
There's
Yeah.
quite a few places that are like that though. Like I feel like people are hugely like that about New York as well.
Yeah,
That's
probably
just the one
same.
that sticks out to me. You know, all the glamorous places that you see in all the movies, Times Square, blah, 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 blah. I went there and we did a lot of walking. We didn't do any transport when I was there. We just walked
It's the best way
everywhere.
to see any place, I think.
And bro,
Yeah.
you see it, bro, and
Yeah.
you see some shit. And you're like, hang on, this wasn't in the fucking movie. What the fuck? You're like, where does this come from?
Yeah.
It's like, anyway, like you head out into the room.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy how we all have like an idea of like some places we've never been to.
Yeah.
It's like when I started traveling in Southeast Asia, I had all the pictures. I was excited to go to some places because I've seen the pictures online. And when you get there, you're disappointed. You know, like
Yeah.
it should stay on the picture.
Yeah, and it's like it's the same with kind of like influential people as well. Like there's this saying, it's like, you know, it's very dangerous to meet your heroes because very often they're not who
They
you
let
think
you
they
down.
are.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's like that when it's the same as movies versus books. When you're reading a book, your imagination runs wild and you get to imagine this place exactly how you would want it.
Yeah.
And then when you watch the movie, although they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on these extravagant like special effects and stuff like that, they're making that movie to the imagination of someone else. It's never the same as when you're conjuring it up in your own mind, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it's crazy. Like, I feel like definitely traveling and seeing more of the world is an extremely growth-provoking exercise for anyone. And if you're in the position to do so, obviously we're in COVID currently, but when this shit is over, definitely I would recommend go and see a bit of the world, because with every
changes
new
you.
place you see, like you feel like you grow a new person. You know, it's so important for development, most definitely.
Yeah, that's crazy. People think I'm crazy. Like when I was telling, because back home, as I was saying, like it's not that great. You know, like it's over 70 million people in a tiny ass country. Here you're like 45 million or something like
Not
that.
even like
Yeah.
28, 27.
28, you know?
Yeah. like
Like-
fucking a speck.
Yeah, and it's like Australia is like bigger than Europe.
Well, we're the same landmass of the United States, or the North America. Yeah.
It's crazy. And like back home, we're like a tiny ass country that's like maybe 10 times smaller than Queensland. And we have like 3 times the amount of people. So
Yeah.
everybody's like upset. I always hear people saying that French people are like angry, they're like not nice. I'm like, of course we're not nice. Like we just step on each other all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you know, it's terrible.
All right, so you might be able to answer this question. When I was in Paris last time, I went down to the bakery early in the morning, got a whole bunch of croissants, you know, as you do when you're living that Parisian lifestyle. I bit into this croissant and I almost chipped my tooth off because there was this tiny little ceramic something in there, like this little plastic. Oh no, it wasn't plastic. It was like ceramic clay toy.
It's called a fev.
What is that?
It's like good luck.
Good luck. That's what I thought.
It's
I was
like-
like,
they
do I
should
have to
give you a
take this
crown
back
with
to
it.
them? Do they give me a free croissant or
Yeah,
something?
if
Like,
you bring this back, they give you like a paper shitty crown that you put on your
oh,
head.
I've still got it. Bro, I've moved houses like 3 times and it's still in my bedside cabinet. I'm like, I'm just going to keep that shit, man. For whatever reason, I got to keep that.
What was it in the fucking croissant? When did you go to France? Was it like in January or something?
Yes, it was.
Oh, so yeah, that's it's called the king's cake. So if you get this little ceramic thing,
Yeah.
it means you're the king for the day.
Fuck yeah, I felt like it.
Hey,
Well, that's like carried on for the rest of my life.
king
King for the life, bro.
Little
I'm not gonna
tour
lie,
of the
I got-
croissant factory.
I'm not gonna lie, I got the worst food poisoning I've ever had in my whole life in Paris.
Oh, shit.
And I think I don't know what it was because we eat a lot of shit.
Yeah.
French onion soup, though, I love that stuff, but I think that was the culprit behind.
reckon?
I've never been so violently ill in my life.
There's nothing worse than like
So
food
bad,
sickness,
man.
eh?
And I went to Disneyland the next day. Disneyland is sick. Disneyland with food poisoning, not so sick.
That'd be hell.
Not so sick. I mean, very sick. Not so cool.
Not in the right way.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
beautiful though. Beautiful place. I fucking loved it there, but yeah, no, it's not a good time when you're fucking sick, man.
It's crazy that you had food poisoning from a fucking French onion.
It could have
Yeah.
been anything.
Yeah.
Like we're eating so much shit, but like
Probably the
that's-
off snails I ate earlier.
yeah. I mean, I was just eating them off the street. I was like, French snails, right? Like,
A la carte.
Yeah, I think the worst time I got like sick like that was when I landed in Cambodia. So I left France, went to Cambodia for New Year. Damn, I was like staying in a like a house, like a wooden house on an island with 4 or 5 mates of mine from back home. And literally the first thing they tell you when you arrive on the island with the boat is there's no hospital here, there's no doctors. So they're like,
Don't fuck yourself up.
If you die, you die. You know what I mean?
That'd be exhilarating
That's
though.
crazy.
That was terrible, bro. Like everybody, like in the middle of the night, we had like 3 bunk beds. Everybody started spewing in my thing, and we were hearing people from other like houses spewing. And I have a fear of spewing. I'd rather die. I'd rather die than spewing.
I am the same. Holy shit.
And I was like blocking my ears. I was playing Bob Marley's song.
As soon as you hear it, it brings it on. Hey, yeah.
Be happy.
I was like, no, I can't go through this, and I had to go through this. And the next day, everybody was white in the guest house. I was like, that's fucked. Cambodia sucks.
Wow.
But then, yeah, that was it. And I talked to a local. He was like, yeah, people here get sick every 2 weeks because there's not really education about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So they just like drink tap water. I'm like, that's the first thing they told me not to do when I arrived.
You can't even have ice and
Brushing
shit in
your
your drink.
teeth
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
ice. It's
Yeah.
fucked. Like I got real sick in Bali. Same shit. Brushing my teeth.
Oh.
I was so on top of it with everything else, and I was like, you're not drinking the water when you brush your teeth. That'll
Yeah.
be sweet. No,
no.
was not sweet.
Because it's like the little enzymes or bacteria or whatever that it
And it's
only
like
takes a little bit.
so
Yeah.
many things that you like haven't been exposed to, and so your body freaks the fuck out because it's so different. It's like, I was listening to a podcast yesterday about how like European settlers went to like when they first went to America and when they went to fucking Amazon, and they fucking decimated the populations with
So-
just new germs that aren't that toxic to them, but introducing it to somewhere where it's never been before, they just fucked them
Yeah.
up, man. Smallpox and
Yeah, literally,
oh,
there. Believe it or not, there was 50 million people that lived in the Amazon jungle
Yeah.
before the Spanish, colonized it.
just fucking
And they didn't
rinsed it.
although there was lots of kind of wars between the Spanish and the natives, most of the population was killed off by, like you said, smallpox and
Disease.
like European diseases.
Yeah,
It's
so-
insane. Another thing that I learned not too long ago is the Amazon was a desert before it was colonized by people.
I did not know that.
How
How
did it become a jungle?
Well, so this is fucking nuts, right? And actually, I'm going to reset the cameras because this
Yeah.
is a topic of conversation.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
fucking trippy as fuck. Is it like the irrigation bringing water in?
Certifiable. Do you want
Yeah,
this?
okay.
Cambodia sucks.
Just like fertilizing the land as well
Yeah.
with like waste and crazy.
We are back after a very short break. We really appreciate your patience. So back to the topic of conversation on the Amazon. Now this, like your response is 100% valid, because when I first heard this, I was like, no fucking way. Literally, the Amazon is like this big extravagant wonderland, right? But the thing is, and they've done tests from like soil tests and all that kind of stuff, and it's basically it was a desert beforehand. And when the Amazonians came, there's this species of human beings called the Denisovans. So we've all heard of the Homo sapiens and all that kind of stuff. Shut the fuck up. So we've all heard of the Homo sapiens and things like that, the Neanderthals. So there's this species of human called the Denisovans, and they are a lot older, like 100,000 years old, a lot older than what we thought humans actually were around for. And they were found in Siberia, the Amazon, and the Australian Aborigines. So they were the ones that inhabited the Amazon back when it was a desert, basically. And they created this thing, I can't remember the exact name for it, but they created this stuff called It's basically like Black Earth. They created this own Earth that it's living. They've learned how to cultivate.
Like dirt.
It's literally just dirt, but they learned how to cultivate living soil, basically. And that became like this hyper fertilizer that they use to pretty much grow their fruit orchards and all that kind of stuff. And then obviously over time that turns into a jungle. But when you break down like the biodiversity of the Amazon jungle, you can actually see where the inhabitants were and where the kind of jungle started to sprout out from based on like these fruit orchards, and there's certain fruits in very close proximity to natural tribe, all these kinds of things. And yeah, so the Amazonian people, like I said just before, about 50 million of them basically planted and built and cultivated the Amazon jungle.
Okay.
Wow.
Wild, hey?
The podcast I was listening to yesterday, they were talking about how there were a lot more of a population there,
Yeah.
and how they all had their own little cities which have been lost because they were abandoned or decimated by disease. And now they're using like laser. They flying planes at the top and using lasers to like map the ground and find where these cities were. And they're coming out with, they are a lot more advanced than we give them credit for.
Bro, I could chat on this shit for days.
And was it a jungle already when like it's got like colonized and shit?
Yeah, so by the time the Spanish got there, it was a fully fledged jungle. But when it was first colonized, it was literally a desert.
Can you imagine, bro?
Yeah.
It's like these black dudes were living in the jungle doing their shit, and suddenly there's white people. They've never seen white people in their life. It's like tomorrow we're walking in the street and they're the blue dude.
Yeah.
You're like, what the? It's our idea of like aliens.
I don't know, that fucking king that just died. Fucking, what was his name? Prince Charles, whatever?
Yeah.
He's pretty fucking close to blue. I mean, he is now, but... It's true, though.
Maybe you should get this one.
Fuck that. All right, so
Like when you see like white people going to Africa and all the African kids are like freaking out over their hair and like...
It happened in Cambodia too when I was there, because as I was saying earlier, I bought a bike there, and I wanted to be off track. I didn't want to see tourists and things like that because that was not my point of traveling. I went to like remote areas, and like kids were freaking out. They were like, "What is this guy? Like, what is he doing
I
here?"
ain't seen one like you before.
And then like, don't talk your language, or like they try to share things with me. Like it was so strange. I felt like I was an alien. Yeah, it was crazy.
Apparently in China, they just like default think black people are like famous.
really?
Like, yeah, there's a couple of videos of like
Just
just
you're a
like
famous
normal
rapper or
black
something.
guys in Africa, and all these Chinese people like, oh, fuck. I mean, not in Africa, in China.
Yeah.
And just all these people like taking photos of them, like, oh, who's this? Basketballers, rappers.
I mean, that's great.
Let's go.
Because it doesn't happen like that everywhere.
Oh, I'm going to China, bro. I was instant hit.
Straight to superstardom. All right, amazing. So I think we want to move towards start wrapping it up. So you wanted to chat a little bit more about fighting?
I wanted
Sam?
to ask you, like we were just talking, about your picks for this weekend. So the two big ones on my mind is obviously Jake Paul, Ben Askren. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And then Gastelum and Whitaker. I'm pretty excited about that one.
Yeah. I think Whitaker is a machine, bro. I think Gastelum has been out for way too long.
Yeah.
You know, he's been triple champ. He's been surfing on the wave. He's been lazy about it. I think
He's in the wrong weight class, in my mind. I think like, Kelvin Gastelum, if
He's a
you ever
machine.
listen to this,
He's a
like,
machine,
you're a
though.
fucking monster, dude. I cannot do what you do,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
I don't take this as, I'm a casual, bro. But you need to get on that discipline train, bro, and you need to drop a weight class, bro. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's so undersized for his weight class.
he's too short for the weight class too,
He
I
is.
think. You know what I
He'd
mean?
do so well at welter, I feel. And he was a welter, but again, like, just
Easy
struggling
going.
with the weight.
Yeah.
Like, if he committed to it, I feel like he'd be so successful at welter.
Yeah, and he's been successful there.
He's successful at middleweight. Like, he
Yeah.
fucking makes it work for a small guy.
He's a machine, but yeah, again, I think being a triple champ and being promoting, like he's been doing like McGregor a little bit, you know, like just making business before doing sport.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I've got Whitaker in that one just because homegrown, and fucking Whitaker's just a fucking good dude.
Yeah,
man.
he's
Like,
so good. I talked with him quickly because he when he fought in Melbourne, he was training in Absolute MMA like before the fight.
Yeah.
And met him, Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sick. He's such a great dude. Yeah. Yeah, he had a very, very bad injury like 2 fights ago, like on his
hernia. Hey,
hernia,
he got
yeah.
the emergency because Kelvin and him were supposed to fight, and then the day before he had to do the emergency hernia surgery.
Yeah. And did he fight?
No, he didn't. No, it was the day
He had to pull
before
out.
he had to pull out.
Yeah, okay.
And so I mean that's because I'm follow the UFC to a T, so I watched their whole Ultimate Fighter series as well because they did the Ultimate Fighter together.
Yeah.
And then day before Whittaker has to pull out. So it's fucking sick to see this come to fruition. Personally, I would have loved to have seen them fight before when they were meant to, because like, you know, they both had a little I wouldn't say a skid, but like they're not. Both of them, I feel like they're not in their prime anymore.
Yeah.
And before, when they were scheduled, they were definitely both in like peak.
It's like the veterans and shit. Yeah. I mean, he's Whittaker is still very fresh though.
Yeah.
Like, Gassim is I think he's a good wrestler. He can get sloppy on the hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely have Whittaker on this one.
Yeah.
My money goes there.
I feel like Whittaker definitely hasn't looked as good
The discipline
since
is-
his
yeah.
Romero fights, but that's just like Romero, bro.
Romero, bro.
That's Romero, dude. He's dude. I think the UFC made a mistake letting him go.
Yeah. Was it TJ Dillashaw who was like, I'm scared of no man on earth except
It's Darren
Romero."
Till, bro.
Darren Till.
He was like, give me anybody at middleweight apart from Romero.
Yeah,
Like,
because
fuck fighting
so
that
scary.
fucking guy.
How much do you think you'd have to be paid to jump in the ring with one of those guys?
Oh, look,
Like no
surprisingly
no holds barred.
low amount because I'm
Yeah.
broke as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get bashed up.
Fill
for
up
like
my
a couple
car,
of
I'm
grand.
sweet.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, because at the same time, bro, you get in with one of those guys, they're not just gonna fucking put you down. They're gonna hurt.
Yeah, they're gonna make you suffer.
They're gonna hurt you. But like, no, I don't even think it's suffering though, because it'd be quick. Like,
It's a quick grand. At
couple
least.
leg
It's-
kicks and a good overhand, and I'm done.
Yeah.
But like, oh, dude, like they a trained fighter throws an overhand.
There's no way you're
That
getting
is
out of
so
that.
much more
Yeah.
devastating. Like, you get in a street fight with some
Even in
kind
real
of...
life, yeah.
Bro, you get in a street fight with some kind, he's going to wing it. It's going to come from, like, a weird angle. It's not going to have full power. He's probably not going to catch you at, like, the best range.
Mhm.
A polished fighter, bro, they know exactly
They know
how
the
far away to
distances, yeah.
connect with all of their power. They're going to get you on the point of the chin. Like,
Yeah.
it's...
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
like it's even with like sports like jiu-jitsu. I know you've been doing jiu-jitsu before, and I talked with jiu-jitsu coaches back in Melbourne were Thiago Stefanuti and Craig Jones,
Yeah?
and Lachlan Giles too. We had a camp there.
Fuck, you know all the boys, bro. That's sick, dude. I'm fucking blissed out right now.
and yeah, I think if you've been training jiu-jitsu for 6 months, you can beat anyone in the street because you know
Yeah,
what to do.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how to move.
100%.
And you
If
got that
you can
calmness
close-
as well, that confidence.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Grappling is a different beast. Like, if you, like you said, 6 months, maybe not even that.
Not even.
If you are like, even like 3 months in and you get a hold of somebody who doesn't know jiu-jitsu, bro, you're going to have your fucking way.
Yeah.
100%.
They don't know what to do with their body.
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
And the thing that fucking exposed me when I started jits is like grapple stamina.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh, yeah.
fuck,
It's 10
dude.
minutes rounds too.
Oh,
so-
dude. Bro, you do not know fatigue until your first jits fucking like proper live roll.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I like sat in my car for like 40 minutes after that first roll. Like, I don't know if I'm going to make it home. I think I'm going to die right here, right now.
Just
Yeah.
a sparring session, literally boxing, having to hold yourself up there, hold composition and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't even imagine then
Mentally.
having weight of someone else, you know,
Yeah.
rolling around the floor.
And fucking someone who knows how to put their weight on you, dude.
Yeah, it's
Oh
about the
my
hips and shit.
god.
And the thing is that you're out of the comfort zone because it's not the comfort zone to be punched in the face.
No.
You know what I mean? So you have to adapt to
Very
that. And it's
unnatural, yeah.
exhausting just to adapt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
So-
like fuck, I can't even remember who was saying it, but someone was saying I'm pretty sure it was on Joe Rogan, and they were saying the importance of feints because of how it like mentally drains somebody.
Yeah,
So if you're
affects your
standing in
brain,
front
yeah.
of somebody like pretending you're to go,
Mhm.
they're like calculating that their brain is working
Yeah.
overtime. Like, oh, he's
Yeah.
coming, no, he's not. Oh, he's coming, no,
Yeah,
he's
they
not.
analyze every single
And then you just
movement,
fucking
yeah.
they don't know what's coming when, and that creates so many openings for you, but also just fucking drains the fuck out of them because they just don't know what's coming.
Yeah, it's exhausting. Yeah, we
Fake it
work
till you
on
make
that
it,
a
hey?
lot. Yeah, and what about the Jake Paul and Ben Askren fight? What do you think?
So, personally, I've got Askren just because I'm a fan of MMA, but especially after seeing like a lot of Askren's like workout videos, I think that it's no secret their game plans. I think Jake Paul's gonna come out like a fucking bull in a china
Swinging.
shop. He's gonna try and put him down quick, and Askren is gonna try and weather that storm, and then hang on him a bit, tire him out, and take it on rounds. I think from what I've seen of both of them training, I think that Jake Paul does have the power and the speed to hurt Askren enough to change the fight. Maybe he won't knock him out, but I think that he'll be able to at least hurt him enough to then start taking the fight. I want Ben to win. I don't want Jake to win because Jake's gonna come out of this and be like, hey, I beat an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, bro, you beat Ben Askren. That's an MMA wrestler.
Yeah, definitely.
Put him in there with somebody who's got some fucking legitimate hands, and you've got a very, very, very different fight.
Yeah.
Because isn't Jake a boxer?
Jake has been training a lot of boxing. He's a wrestler as well. He did college wrestling, like not like at a crazy high level or anything, but he originally was wrestling in school, and now he's taken to boxing, and like he's not bad. Like I wouldn't fight Jake Paul.
He's got the confidence
I think he'd
anyway.
fuck me up. He's pretty big dude as well.
Good hands.
Yeah, he can crack. And so Askren, who is a very, very, very seasoned veteran, like he was like a fucking wizard when it came to wrestling. His nickname is Funky Ben Askren because his style is just fucking
very hard to
bonkers,
predict,
man. Like he does the weirdest shit and it works.
Yeah.
And then he came into MMA and he was a champion in Bellator and ONE FC. So he's like, he's no slouch.
Yeah.
But his whole game plan is wrestling. And his striking is to open up his wrestling. So he
That's
strikes.
why I kind of have Jake.
Yeah, exactly. He strikes with you so then he can grab you. Because if he's just straight trying to grab you, fucking, I don't know if you saw him fight against Masvidal. Bro, fucking
5 seconds.
Masvidal runs at him and Ben Askren goes into panic mode and just out of
Tries to
instinct
wrestle.
goes for a takedown and eats a fucking flying knee, and it's the fastest knockout in UFC history because he just panicked and went for his
Fight
what
or
his
flight kicked in,
body's
yeah.
programmed to do, which is a masterful setup by Masvidal. Fucking beautiful. But that tells you where his striking is, man. Like he didn't want any part of that. As soon as he saw Masvidal coming in quick, he was like, nah, let's go down.
Yeah.
And fucking paid for it. So I'm like, his whole striking game has been built off of getting his hands onto you. And in boxing, you can clinch, but it's not wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't, unless he can survive the early onslaught from Jake, that's going to be his tactic, is he's coming out there to knock him out.
For sure, yeah.
Jake's plan is to go in there and knock him out in the first fucking round. Like, he's prepared for more,
hard,
obviously, but that's what he's going to try and do. He fucking had Masvidal on
video,
FaceTime in their conference call. So he's talking shit to Ben Askren and pulls up Masvidal, who fucking need Ben Askren into orbit in 5 seconds, like talking shit. Masvidal's there like, oh, he's still alive. Like, fucking trying to get in his head. So I think I do think that Jake takes it. I think that he has what it takes to hurt him early and get the job done. I want to see Ben win because Jake's going to come out and be like, oh, I beat an MMA fighter. I'm like, oh.
The thing is that if Ben loses, it's the end of his career. Like he basically, if he loses, he loses against a YouTuber.
A YouTuber, exactly right.
It's not a fighter.
It's his whole reputation on the line right now.
This guy, Jake Paul's last 2 fights were a rapper and another YouTuber.
And no, he was Nate Robinson, NBA player.
Oh yeah.
And again, like comes out like a fucking bull in a china shop. Fucking
just got the money.
Swings. He's fucking big dude. He has
money,
power.
the confidence, the fucking psychotic nature.
That's why
nutcase.
Askren's doing this is money too. It's like, I don't know, man.
Is it $5 million you get paid for this fight?
So before all of the fucking Triller like streams and shit, they're Jake's on like 620, so 620,000, and then I think Ben's a flat 500,000, but that's before sponsorship.
Yeah.
All of the fucking pay-per-views
Oh,
and shit.
okay,
Well,
yeah.
it's not pay-per-view because it's on Triller, but
Yep.
all of that revenue.
Yep.
So they'll be getting around like the 5 mil mark each. Jake Paul probably a
Not
lot
bad
more.
for a day's work. Hey?
I've been talking a lot with Janae Harding from Bellator, female fighter in Bellator, and we were talking about this the other day, and we were talking about how it's fucking wild because if Jake wins, he's gonna milk that he beat an MMA fighter. But if you look at Jake Paul's fan base, most of those, like, she said that she was like, oh, like all the casuals that follow Jake Paul are gonna be like, oh yeah, MMA's not shit. And I'm like, I literally said to her, can you even call them casuals? Because all of fucking Jake Paul's audience are children.
Yeah.
Like
That's amazing.
legitimate fucking children.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
gnarly.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. And even the character is not good. Like his whole Instagram and shit. His business is hate.
Yeah.
He wants to like make people angry.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
the
that's
heel.
the thing.
He
They're
generate- he
just
generates
just
views.
poke and poke and poke
Yeah.
and poke.
That's what he did with Conor McGregor too.
Yeah.
That video, dude, I like
It's so
watching
cringy.
people talk shit like that, but when he did that, I was like, oh,
Especially because Connor didn't
dude.
respond.
No, yeah. Why would you?
Yeah. Exactly.
Dude, you don't want that fucking problem,
No,
man.
you don't bring that.
I
rain
want
down.
I just want like Ben Askren to go out there and blast one good leg kick,
And
and Jake's gonna be like, "Oh, I don't know if I like this."
I just hope it's not like rigged for
Yeah.
the money. You know what I mean? Like we can.
Uh,
Everything is suspicious when
Yeah.
it's about that much money.
Because if you think about how much media attention it would get if Jake did win, you know, that is headlines all over the
Like-
world.
He beat an MMA fighter,
Yeah.
and he's gonna fucking milk that shit. Could you imagine if Ben Askren comes out and fucking starches him, bro?
Oh,
I think the chances of that happening are like 0.001. But
but that's
could
still-
you
Yeah.
imagine?
Still, yeah.
Holy shit. I saw a post the other day and it was like someone had put Ben Askren's face on a coin and they were like, if you knock Jake Paul out, we're doing this. There's going to be a coin with Ben Askren's face on it.
Fuck yeah, that'd be amazing. Anyway, so we are getting to the time of the podcast where we have to start wrapping it up.
We're
Thank
out
you.
of alcohol. We need.
Yeah.
That's why we
Wrap
got to
up
wrap
time.
up. Really.
We're
Let's be
out of
honest.
Fireball. Now, not that anyone wants to hear this, but Fireball is the only ever alcohol that I have thrown up after.
Oh, yeah.
And so this was a
Big.
very, very, very big milestone for me to actually put that
You've done
back in my
well.
body.
You've done very well.
Jack.
Well done.
Thanks, guys. Feeling the love. So yeah, thank you so much for Sovann for coming on. Just quickly before we kind of wrap things up, you know, how are you feeling currently within yourself, with your mental space? You know, what you're currently working on. Like, how are you feeling at the moment?
I'm feeling great, bro. I have a partner. I have a dog. You know.
It's everything you need in life, really.
You know, everything's doing pretty well for me. Can't wait to get back in the cage.
Yeah.
You know, just like get back to train and maybe fight. I don't know if I find time for it.
When are you thinking? Do you have like a timeline in mind or?
Yeah, actually, we are in the process of changing our priorities at the moment. A
Yeah,
bit less
okay.
party, a bit more. You know, like actually use.
I watch you guys on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the dude who sits back there like, fuck, these guys have a good time.
Yeah.
You guys know how to have a good time. You guys are always doing something, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I need to get out more.
Yeah, we have a
You
great
guys
time.
inspire me for sure.
Amazing.
But yeah, just like can't wait to get back to train. And I train already like at the gym, but
Yeah.
like just normal train. But I can't wait to fight, punch people
Yeah.
in the face, get punched in the face, you know, all this
And get
things.
paid
Feel
for it.
alive.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
yeah, that's it. That's the goal so far. And yeah, wait on the paperwork, visa and shit to be
Yeah.
all sorted.
Then we start working on the goals. Hey.
Yeah, that's it.
Does
Can't
the
wait.
visa stuff complicate fighting? Like, yeah, what's that like? Trying to get a fight with a visa.
No, like things that without having a citizenship or a permanent residency, I can't really aim towards something. You know, I can't really work for a career or
Yeah.
for anything like that because I have like limited rights.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
can't make like a certain amount, hey, or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, so yeah, I just wait for that. You know, I just try to chill and enjoy myself in the meantime. I just take it as a slow time.
Yeah.
You know,
Enjoy
it's
the
it's
process.
gonna be like a year and a half. And as you said, yeah, just enjoy the process. And
You're living in a beautiful country anyway.
That's it. And I have all the tools to enjoy, so
Yeah.
why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank
That's
you so much
amazing.
for your time, Sovann. This has been an incredible episode. And thank you so much for everyone that tuned in. This has been a long one, but it's filled with so many different topics. You know, I really loved the dynamic of this. I feel like it flowed really well. We bounced off each other really nicely. So if you're listening and you got a little nugget of information or you were simply entertained, make sure you click that subscribe button, whether you're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you listen to this on. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you really, really, really want to get behind us, make sure you leave us a little review. Anything that you want to hear from us, like we're only just winding up here. Sovann, it's an honor to have you here as our first guest.
It's my pleasure.
This has been an awesome episode,
It's been a
man.
good time.
This has been a lot of fun.
Do you want to chuck your social media handles out?
Yeah,
there
give a
as
bit of a
well?
plug. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm very bad at it. Lucky my girlfriend is taking care of it for me. So my Instagram is SQ on love. Don't ask me why. And yeah, that's where you can find me. That's where I'm easy to reach. So yeah, SQ on
Amazing.
love.
Fuck yeah.
Plug your new song.
Yeah, so Snakes, 30th of April. We're in April, right?
Yeah,
I'm
I
pretty
think so.
tipsy. I'm not gonna lie. It's fucking midday. What the
Fucking
fuck?
tipsy too. It's way too early for that shit. It's not 20
midday,
anymore.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
no, it's not midday though. But
30th of this month, Snakes is coming out. Make sure you get on that pre-save. Follow me on Instagram, v.blvq. I'll be promoting that pre-save, promoting those unearthed interactions as well. So get on that shit.
Hit up that pre-save, guys.
There
It
you
seriously
go.
does help.
It
And
really does.
if you are looking for some new threads, make sure you head to anarchylabel.com, find yourself some new clothes. We will be dropping our winter range in 6 weeks' time. And I could be biased saying this, but it is fucking mental.
It's not biased. This shit is so dope.
It's fucking
And
mental.
you need to
bro.
drop this at least to just me before.
Make sure you hit that pre-save.
Oh my god, I'm pre-saving the fuck out of these threads. Like, trust. There's some dope shit
There
coming
is.
from Anarchy.
So thank you so much, guys. You've been listening to Before the Money with Jack, Reese, and Sovann. Plus, massive shout out to Electric Sugar, the studio we record in. Scott is an absolute
home.
god.
Thank you, Scott.
We wouldn't be
Man,
able
we
to do
love
this without it. So for everyone that's reached out, complimenting us on the quality,
Shout out
he is the
Tess
man
as
to
well,
blame.
in the
Thank
booth,
you.
Woo!
making this happen.
God bless, guys. Enjoy.
Yo.
Sweet.
Fucking oath.
That's a wrap.